Officer Brennan slams both hands on the hood of the Honda Accord. Hard. The metal booms. Inside, 3 children jump. "Step out, now!" "Officer, may I ask why?" "I said out!" Brennan yanks the door open. "Don't make me ask again." The man exits slowly, hands raised. Brennan immediately spins him against the car, kicking his legs apart. "You carrying drugs, weapons? What have you got?" "Nothing, sir. I'm just taking my kids." Brennan pulls $8,000 from the man's pocket. His eyes light up. "Well, well, look at this. Where'd you steal this from?" "I didn't steal." "Sure you didn't." Brennan holds up the cash for his partner to see. Guys like him always have a story. The man stays silent, jaw tight, hands against the car. What he doesn't say. Within 10 minutes, 300 men will surround this street, and these officers will wish they'd never pulled him over. Have you ever watched someone be humiliated and done nothing? 30 minutes earlier. Marcus Kane is driving his 3 children home from their grandmother's house. It's 6:45 p.m. on a Saturday. His wife Teresa is working the night shift at the hospital. He's got the kids until morning. The car is a 2004 Honda Accord, dented bumper, faded paint, but clean inside. Marcus keeps it that way. He wears a plain black t-shirt and jeans, nothing that draws attention. That's the point. Jayla, 13, sits in the passenger seat doing homework. In the back, DeAndre, 9, argues with his little sister Amara, 6, about cartoon characters. Marcus referees calmly. Use your words, not your volume. A man's power is in his silence, not his noise. DeAndre nods. He always listens when Dad talks like this. What the kids don't know is that every lesson Marcus teaches comes from a world they know nothing about. A world where silence keeps you alive, where showing emotion gets you killed. His phone buzzes. 3 times. 5 times. Marcus glances at the screen. 37 unread messages in a group chat labeled The Family. He swipes them away. Jayla notices. She always notices. "Dad, why do people call you boss?" "Work stuff, baby. Nothing important." "You said you're a consultant. Consultants don't get called boss." "Some do." He changes the subject. "How's the math homework?" She goes back to her textbook, but Marcus sees her thinking. Jayla's smart. Too smart. She's starting to ask the questions he spent 10 years avoiding. The truth is, Marcus Kane lives 2 separate lives. At home, he's dad. He coaches basketball. He braids Amara's hair. He makes Sunday pancakes. He goes to parent-teacher conferences. He's ordinary. At work, if you can call it that, he's something else entirely. Marcus drives like someone who can't afford mistakes. Exactly the speed limit. Turn signals for every lane change. Full stops at stop signs. He counts to 3 at each one. Most people don't drive this carefully unless they've been trained to avoid attention. His hands stay at 10 and 2. Always. Even when relaxed. It's muscle memory. Years of knowing one traffic stop could unravel everything. On his left wrist, hidden by his sleeve, is a Rolex Submariner. $15,000. He keeps it covered. The watch doesn't match the car. Doesn't match the carefully constructed image of a working-class dad just getting by. They're driving through Oakmont Hills now. Not their neighborhood. Oakmont Hills is different. Manicured lawns, houses starting at $700,000, 68% white. Marcus has driven this route 100 times without incident. Tonight, he notices a police cruiser 2 cars behind him. He doesn't tense, doesn't change speed, just acknowledge it mentally. His hands tighten slightly on the wheel. He counts the blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At the 7th block, the lights flash. His stomach drops. His face doesn't change. "Kids, we're being pulled over. Hands where they can see them. Jayla, you can record but be respectful. DeAndre, Amara, not a word unless I say so. They've practiced this, not officially, but Marcus has talked to them about what to do if this happens. Because he always knew it would. It's happened 7 times in 15 years. 7 stops. 0 tickets. Just questions. Searches. Suspicion. Then release. He pulls over smoothly. Parks. Turn off the engine. Interior light on. Both hands on the steering wheel, visible. Behind him, 2 police cars stop. 4 officers for 1 man and 3 kids. Marcus watches in the rearview mirror. His jaw sets. In his pocket, his phone vibrates. The family group chat. 43 unread messages now. He doesn't reach for it. Not yet. But soon he'll have no choice. Soon these officers will push him so far that he'll have to reveal the one thing he's spent a decade hiding from his children. Soon, 300 men will arrive on this quiet suburban street. And these 4 officers will realize they've made a mistake they can't undo. For now, Marcus just sits, waiting, hands on the wheel, watching 2 officers approach his car in the mirror. One of them is Officer Brennan. And Brennan has already decided who Marcus is before speaking a single word. Officer Brennan approaches the driver's side window. He doesn't say good evening, doesn't introduce himself, just taps his flashlight hard against the glass. Once, twice, 3 times. Marcus lowers the window, keeps both hands on the wheel. License and registration. Not a question. A command. Good evening, officer. May I ask why I was stopped? Brennan leans down, shining his flashlight directly into Marcus's face, then sweeps it across the back seat, blinding each child for a moment. Amara whimpers. I asked for your license and registration. Of course. I'm reaching for my wallet now, back right pocket. Marcus moves slowly, deliberately, pulls out his wallet, extracts his license, opens the glove box for the registration. Every movement was announced, every movement visible. Brennan snatches both documents, doesn't say thank you, just examines them under his flashlight while his partner, Officer Hayes, positions himself at the passenger side window. Hayes taps on Jayla's window. She flinches but lowers it. Everyone keep your hands where we can see them, Hayes says. Jayla's hands are already on her lap. So are DeAndre's and Amara's. They know the drill. Brennan studies the license longer than necessary, looks at the name, looks at the address, looks at Marcus. Back to the license. Back to Marcus. This your car? Yes, sir. Registration says Marcus Kane. That you? Yes, sir. How long have you had this car? 12 years. I bought it used. Brennan grunts. Hands the documents to Hayes, who walks back to the patrol car to run them. Standard procedure. But Marcus knows what's happening. Hayes isn't just running his license. He's running his name through every database they have, looking for warrants, priors, anything. He'll find nothing. Marcus has never been arrested, never been charged. His record is clean, perfectly clean. That's not an accident. Brennan circles the car slowly, shining his light through the windows, looking at the kids, looking at the interior, looking for anything out of place. Where are you coming from? My mother-in-law's house. We had dinner. Where's that? Marcus gives the address. That's 20 minutes south. You live north. Why'd you come this way? It's faster. I take this route every time. Do you? Brennan stops at the back of the car, examines the taillights. Both are working fine. He knew that. There was never a broken taillight. He made the stop because a black man in an old car was driving through Oakmont Hills at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. That was enough. Hayes returns, hands the documents back to Brennan and whispers something. Brennan's eyebrows raise. No record, Hayes says, loud enough for Marcus to hear. Clean. Brennan looks disappointed. Step out of the vehicle. Marcus doesn't move. Officer, may I ask why? I don't need a reason. Step out. Sir, I've provided my license and registration. I haven't committed any violation. My children are in the car. I said out. Brennan's hand moves to his belt. Not to his gun. Not yet. But close enough to send the message. Marcus looks at his kids in the rearview mirror. Amara is crying now. Silent tears down her cheeks. DeAndre is staring straight ahead, fists clenched. Jayla has her phone out. She's recording. Jayla, Marcus says quietly, keep recording. Don't stop. He opens the door and steps out, hands raised to shoulder height. Brennan immediately spins him around. Hands on the car. Spread your legs. Marcus complies, face pressed against the roof of his Honda. His children watched through the window. The pat-down is aggressive, rougher than necessary. Brennan's hands move quickly, grabbing, pressing, searching. He pulls items from Marcus's pockets one by one. Phone, keys, wallet. Then he finds something else. A small leather folder. Brennan opens it. His eyes widened. Well, what do we have here? He pulls out a thick stack of bills, $100 bills. Count them quickly. $8,000, cash. Hayes whistles. 2 more patrol cars pull up. Lights flashing. 4 more officers. 6 total now. Marcus keeps his hands on the car. Doesn't move. Where'd you get this? Brennan demands. It's mine. Where'd you get it? I earned it. Doing what? Brennan steps closer, voice rising. What do you do for a living, Mr. Kane? Marcus hesitates. This is where it always gets complicated. I'm a consultant. A consultant, Brennan laughs. Actually, I laugh. Hear that, Hayes? He's a consultant. Hayes doesn't laugh. He looks uncomfortable, but he doesn't intervene. What kind of consultant carries $8 grand in cash? Brennan fans the bills out like a poker hand. Let me guess. You consult on corners? You consult on deals? I consult on business operations, import, export, logistics. Those words. Import, export, logistics. They're technically true. They're also code. Anyone who knows, knows. Brennan doesn't know, but he's suspicious anyway. Right, business. Brennan pockets the cash. I'm holding this as evidence. Evidence of what? Suspicion of drug trafficking. I don't use or sell drugs. That's what they all say. Brennan turns to the other officers. Search the vehicle. Officer, you don't have probable cause. I have $8,000 in cash. That's plenty of cause. Hayes opens the passenger door. Jayla pulls back, pressing against her seat. Hayes gestures for her to get out. She does, phone still recording. He goes through the glove box, under the seats, center console. Nothing. Another officer opens the back doors. DeAndre and Amara are ordered out. Both are crying now. They stand on the sidewalk holding hands, watching their father pressed against the car. A small crowd is forming. Neighbors. People walking dogs. Someone from the corner store. Maybe 15 people now, watching. One of them, an older black woman, Mrs. Dorothy Williams, steps forward. That's Marcus Kane. He lives 2 streets over. What are you doing to him? Ma'am, step back, Brennan snaps. I will not step back. I've known that man 10 years. He's a good father. Leave him alone. Ma'am, this is police business. This is harassment. She pulls out her phone, starts recording too. The officers search the trunk, find nothing. Kids' backpacks. Grandmother's Tupperware with leftovers. A basic toolkit. Nothing illegal. Nothing suspicious. Just a family's car. Brennan is frustrated. He wanted to find something. Anything. He turns back to Marcus. That's a nice watch. Marcus's sleeve has ridden up. The Rolex is visible now. Where'd you get that? I bought it. With what money? Consultant money? Yes. Sure you did. Brennan grabs Marcus's wrist. Take it off. I want to check if it's stolen. Marcus doesn't move. It's not stolen. I have the receipt at home. I said take it off. No. It's the first time Marcus has directly refused. The first time his voice has had an edge. Brennan hears it. So do the other officers. Hayes shifts nervously. Are you refusing a lawful order? I'm declining to remove my personal property without a warrant. You a lawyer now, along with being a consultant? Marcus says nothing, just stares. And something in that stare makes Brennan angrier. Because Marcus isn't scared, isn't intimidated, isn't backing down. And Brennan can feel it, can feel that this man is used to being the one in control, used to being the one people fear. Brennan steps close, inches from Marcus's face. You think you're tough? You think you're better than me? I think I'm a citizen who's done nothing wrong. I think my children are terrified, and I think you're enjoying this. What did you just say to me? I said... Brennan shoves Marcus against the car, hard. His face slams into the metal. Jayla screams. DeAndre lunges forward, but Hayes grabs him. Dad! Jayla yells. Mrs. Williams shouts, This is excessive force! We're all recording this! Marcus straightens slowly. There's a small cut above his eyebrow. Blood trickles down. But his expression hasn't changed. Still calm, still controlled. But something else is there now. Something cold. Officer Brennan, Marcus says quietly. I'm going to make a phone call now. You don't have permission. I'm not asking. Marcus reaches slowly into his pocket for his phone. 3 officers tense. Hands move toward weapons. If you reach for anything, then do what you need to do. Marcus pulls out his phone, slowly, deliberately. But I'm making this call. And you're going to wish you'd let me and my children go home. Brennan laughs. Are you threatening me? Marcus doesn't answer. Just dials, puts the phone on speaker. A deep voice answers on the first ring. M, you good? No. Oakmont and Cedar, 6 badges. Bring the family. How many? Marcus looks directly at Brennan. All of them. Silence. Then, 10 minutes. The call ends. Brennan smirks. That's your gang? Your crew? We're not scared. Marcus leans back against his car. Says nothing. Just wait. In the distance, barely audible, the sound of engines starting. Marcus leans against his car. Waiting. His face has changed completely. No more politeness, no more deference. Just cold patience. Who'd you call? Brennan demands. Your buddies? Marcus doesn't answer. We've got backup, too. You think you're gonna intimidate us? Still nothing. The silence is worse than any threat. Hayes shifts nervously. Brennan, maybe we should... Should what? Let him go? Sergeant Morrison from the 3rd patrol car approaches. What's the situation? Suspect non-compliant. Large cash amount. Possible gang affiliation. He just called for backup. Morrison looks at Marcus, at the crying kids, at the witnesses filming. What was the initial stop for? Brennan hesitates. Suspicious vehicle. That's not a violation. I use discretion. We'll discuss later. Morrison turns to all officers. Stay alert. They wait. 6 officers, 1 man, 3 kids, 20 witnesses, everyone waiting. 7:47 p.m. Then from the south, a sound. Engines, multiple engines, moving together. What is that? Brennan asks. Marcus speaks quietly. That's my family. Around the corner, 15 black SUVs appear. Escalades, Suburbans, Range Rovers, moving in formation. They stop. Engines idling, doors open. 30 men step out, then 40, 50. All black men, various ages. Some in suits, some in street clothes, all silent. They spread out, creating a perimeter around Marcus and his children. Not aggressive, just a present. Officers back toward their cars. "Disperse," Brennan shouts. "This is police business." No one moves. More vehicles arrive. Mercedes, BMWs, regular cars, motorcycles, 20 bikes, engines rumbling. More men, 70, 90, 120. They fill the street, sidewalks, parking lots, all watching. Hayes radios. "We need more units, a lot more." Morrison calls the chief directly. The vehicles keep coming. Luxury cars, work trucks, 150 men, 180, 200. Mrs. Williams, still filming, whispers, "Who is he?" News vans arrive. Someone tipped the media. By 8:02 p.m., over 300 men surrounded the scene, not blocking anything, not preventing officers from leaving, just there. Then a black Rolls-Royce Phantom arrives, slowly, deliberately. A man exits. Raymond Ghost Miller, 50s, silver hair, three-piece suit. He walks through the crowd like water parting. Men step aside respectfully. He reaches Marcus. They embrace like brothers. "M. You good?" Marcus touches the cut above his eye. "They put hands on me in front of my kids." Ghost's jaw tightens. He turns to the officers, smiles coldly. "Good evening, officers. Beautiful night." Brennan tries to sound authoritative. "Disperse immediately." "Investigation into what?" Ghost's voice is pleasant. "What's the charge?" "None of your business." "It's my business when you harass my brother." Another man steps forward, older, distinguished. "Officers, I'm Raymond Miller, Sr., attorney. I represent Mr. Kane. What are the charges?" Brennan's face reddens. "We're investigating." "Investigating what? What crime?" Silence. "That's what I thought." The attorney pulls out his phone. "I'm documenting this, as are 300 witnesses, 6 news cameras, and multiple body cams. So clearly, are you charging Mr. Kane? Yes or no?" Morrison steps forward. "I'm Sergeant Morrison." He looks at Brennan. "What was the initial violation?" "Suspicious vehicle." "That's not a violation. Did you witness an actual traffic violation?" "The tail light." "Both tail lights work, I checked." Morrison's phone rings. He answers. "Yes, Chief, I understand." He hangs up, looks at the scene. 300 men, cameras everywhere. Chief Wallace is en route. Ghost smiles. "Excellent. We'll wait." And they do. 300 men, silent, engines idling. Brennan, for the first time tonight, looks genuinely afraid. The crowd whispers, "Who is Marcus Kane? Why did 300 men come? What kind of power does this consultant have?" On the sidewalk, Jayla holds her siblings. DeAndre stares at his father with new eyes. Amara has stopped crying, watching the men who came to protect them. They're seeing a side of their father they never knew existed, and everything is about to change. Police Chief David Wallace arrives at 8:15 p.m. His cruiser pulls up, lights flashing. He steps out and surveys the scene. 300 men, 6 officers looking cornered. News cameras everywhere, witnesses filming. His face tightens. He walks straight to Ghost. "Who's in charge here?" Ghost gestures to Marcus. "That would be him." Chief Wallace turns, looks at Marcus for the first time. Really looks. Studies his face. Something shifts in his expression. Recognition, maybe fear. "Jesus Christ," Wallace whispers. He approaches Marcus slowly. "Mr. Kane." Marcus nods. "Chief, you want to tell me what happened?" "Your officer stopped me without cause, searched my car without warrant, put his hands on me in front of my children, cut my face, so I called my family." Wallace turns to Brennan. "Is this true?" Brennan stammers, Chief, I had reasonable suspicion. Of what? He was driving through this neighborhood. He had large amounts of cash. Is it illegal to drive? To carry cash? No, but... Then what was your probable cause? Brennan says nothing. Wallace's jaw sets. He turns back to Ghost. Mr. Miller, I know who you are. I know what organization you represent. Can we resolve this peacefully? Ghost smiles coldly. We're already peaceful, Chief. Haven't broken a single law. Just concerned citizens checking on our brother. 300 concerned citizens. Marcus is well loved. Wallace looks at the crowd, at the luxury cars next to beat-up trucks, at men in $1,000 suits standing beside men in work boots, at the sheer organization of it all. Chief, Ghost says, perhaps I should explain who Marcus is. For the record, for the cameras. Wallace nods slowly. News reporters push closer, microphones extended. Marcus Kane is family. Our family. The Black Disciples. The words hit like a bomb. Murmurs ripple through everyone. Witnesses, news reporters, officers. The Black Disciples. Everyone's heard that name. East Coast Operations. One of the most powerful organized crime organizations in 6 states. Not a street gang. An enterprise. Brennan's face drains of all color. Ghost continues, voice steady. We operate in 6 states. We employ thousands. We move millions monthly. Import, export, logistics, distribution, all the things Marcus told your officer. All true. And Marcus? He puts his hand on Marcus's shoulder. Marcus is our underboss, second in command. He runs East Coast operations. Everything flows through him. Sergeant Morrison drops his notepad. Hayes takes 2 steps back. Brennan looks like he's going to be sick. Chief Wallace closes his eyes briefly. When he opens them, he looks at Brennan with pure fury. Oh, Brennan, what did you do? I didn't know. That's exactly the problem. The attorney, Raymond Miller Sr., steps forward holding a tablet. For the record, my client has never been convicted of any crime, never arrested, never charged. Legally, he's a legitimate businessman. It's technically true. Marcus is too careful, too intelligent. The FBI has investigated him twice, found nothing they could prosecute. He's a ghost in the system, present but unprovable. These 300 men, Ghost gestures broadly, are our family, associates, partners, employees. Some run distribution networks, some handle security, some manage our legitimate businesses, restaurants, construction companies, real estate. Some are accountants, lawyers, consultants. Others are brothers who owe Marcus their lives. He points to different groups. Those 15? They manage logistics operations across 3 states. That group? Security specialists. The suits, business managers. The rest? People Marcus has helped, hired, mentored, fed, protected. When Marcus calls, we come. All of us. Touch one, you touch all. That's the code. That's family. Morrison asks quietly. Why does a man with this power live in a regular neighborhood? Drive that car? Marcus speaks for the first time since the chief arrived. His voice is quiet but carries weight. Because I have 3 children, Chief, and I didn't want this life to touch them. He looks toward the sidewalk, at Jayla, DeAndre, and Amara. Amara stares at him with wide eyes. DeAndre looks confused and scared. Jayla's face is wet with tears, and she looks heartbroken. I kept 2 worlds separate. At work, I'm who I need to be. At home, I'm Dad. I drive that car to blend in. I dress plain to avoid attention. I wanted my kids to have normal lives, to not know. His voice cracks slightly. The 300 men hear it. So do the cameras. Until tonight, they thought I was a consultant, boring office job. They thought I helped businesses with logistics.
which is true, just not the kind of businesses they imagined. I spent 10 years building that wall, 10 years keeping them safe from this world, from enemies, from rivals, from anyone who might use them as leverage against me. He looks directly at Brennan. Your officer destroyed that in 30 minutes. Made me reveal myself in front of my babies. Jayla is crying openly now. She understands everything. Why did Dad never bring work friends home? Why did he drive so carefully? Why did he teach them about silence and control? Why was he always watching? Officer Brennan, Wallace says coldly, do you understand what you've done? Brennan can barely speak. I thought, you thought a black man in an old car must be a criminal. You were right about the criminal part, completely wrong about everything else. Ghost steps closer to Brennan. Let me be clear, officer. Marcus Kane runs operations worth hundreds of millions annually. He has connections in every major city from here to Miami. He employs over 1,000 people directly, thousands more indirectly. He's not some corner dealer, he's at the executive level. The 8,000 your officer found? That's pocket money. Marcus carries it like you carry $50. The Rolex? He owns 6 more at home. This Honda? He has 11 other vehicles. He drives this one specifically to avoid attention. Morrison asks, then why not just explain? Show ID? Avoid this? Marcus answers, pain evident. Because the moment I do, I'm not Dad anymore. I'm underboss, and my kids know. My neighbors know. My daughter's teachers know. And my children become targets. Bargaining chips, leverage against me. I gave up that protection tonight because your officer pushed me so far, humiliated me so publicly, that I had no choice. I had to choose between my dignity and their safety. The street is silent. Even the 300 men are still, watching their leader show vulnerability they've never seen. Wallace turns to Brennan. You stopped one of the most powerful men in organized crime, searched him illegally, assaulted him, in front of witnesses, cameras, his children. The only reason you're breathing is because Marcus chose mercy. If he'd wanted, you'd vanish tonight. No body, no questions. That's his real power. Brennan shakes visibly. But he didn't, Wallace continues. He called for witnesses, lawyers, cameras. He chose law over street justice. Because despite what he is, he's also a father teaching his children the right way. Ghost addresses Brennan directly. Officer, understand this. The man you treated like garbage could buy your house. The man you humiliated commands 300 with one call. The man you assaulted has shown you more mercy than you showed him. Brennan stares at the ground. Marcus straightens. Chief Wallace, I'm taking my children home now. I'm not filing charges. I don't need attention. But understand this. Your officer didn't stop a criminal tonight. He stopped a father protecting his children. He made assumptions based on skin, based on a car, based on nothing but bias. I may be underboss, I may run operations, but tonight I was just Dad, and I was treated like I was nothing. He walks toward his children. The 300 men part instantly. Ghost calls, Em, you need anything? Marcus doesn't turn. I need my kids to not fear me. He reaches Jayla, DeAndre, Amara, kneels to their level. Let's go home. They get in silently. Marcus starts the engine. The 300 men create a corridor. Marcus drives through. Then, like smoke, they disperse. Within 10 minutes, the street is empty. Only police remain. And Officer Brennan, whose career ended the moment he decided a black man in an old car must be nothing. That night, 10:47 p.m. Marcus sits in his living room in the dark. Kids are in bed. Teresa came home early after Mrs. Williams called. She sits beside him. Baby, talk to me. I had to do it. They were going to arrest me. For nothing. I know, but now they know. Jayla knows. Teresa takes his hand. We always knew this day might come. I wanted 10 more years, until they were grown. They're safe because you protect them. That hasn't changed. Everything changed tonight. Upstairs, Jayla isn't sleeping. She's on her laptop searching. Black disciples. Marcus Kane. Underboss. The searches return almost nothing. Her father is that good at staying hidden. Was. She closes the laptop. Go downstairs. Teresa sees her coming, squeezes Marcus's hand, and leaves them alone. Jayla sits. Dad, are you bad? Marcus takes a breath. I'm not good, but I'm not bad either. I'm complicated. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. Do you hurt people? He won't lie to her, not now. Sometimes the world I work in requires hard choices. That means yes. It means complicated. She's crying. All those times you taught me about doing the right thing, were you lying? No. I meant every word. I want you to be better than me, to have choices I never had. You had choices. I was 16, father gone, mother working 3 jobs. I was hungry, desperate. The family gave me purpose, structure, money. You could leave. Not easily. Once you're deep enough. He trails off. But I'm trying. That warehouse? Legitimate business. Real employees. I'm transitioning. It'll take years, but I'm trying. Jayla wipes her eyes. The cops treated you like garbage. I hated them. They were wrong. But they were right about what you are. Marcus flinches. Yes. So what do I do with that? You can hate them for being racist. Hate me for being a criminal. Both. Neither. That's your choice. She looks at him. Sees the man who taught her to ride a bike, who stayed up when she was sick, who is also underboss. I don't hate you. I just don't know who you are anymore. I'm still me. Still your father. That part is real. She nods. I need time. She goes back upstairs. Marcus sits in darkness. His phone buzzes. Ghost. Turn on the news. Marcus does. Every station is running the story. Standoff between police and 300 men. Who is Marcus Kane? Footage of everything. Ghost says, FBI called. You're exposed now. Enemies are watching. I know. You need protection. Send 2 guys. Discreet. Already outside your house. Marcus looks out. Black SUV down the street. Thanks, brother. Monday morning. Internal Affairs begins investigation. Detective Lisa Chen assigned. She's good. Fair. Known for not backing down. She starts with Brennan. Interview room. Brennan, his union rep, recording device. Chen slides a tablet across. Watch this. Jayla's video. All 42 minutes. Brennan watches himself. Hears his own words. People like you. The aggression. The shove. When it ends, he looks sick. Walk me through your justification. He was driving through a white neighborhood. Stop. You just admitted racial profiling. His union rep interjects. My client was following training. Training to profile black men? To recognize suspicious behavior. What behavior? Driving while black? Brennan tries. The cash. $8,000. It's legal. Rich white men carry cash constantly. But he's not. Brennan stops. Not what? Not white? Say it. Silence. Chen pulls up data. In 18 months, you made 134 stops. 89 were black motorists. The district is 11% black. You stopped them 66% of the time. Explain. I patrol high crime areas. Oakmont Hills has the lowest crime rate in the county. Brennan has no answer. Of those stops, only 12 got citations, 9%. You're fishing, and Marcus Kane just happens to be the one who could fight back. The union rep says, "We'll prepare a defense." There is no defense. It's on video, multiple angles. His pattern is clear. Tuesday, FBI agent Sarah Martinez meets Chief Wallace. We've had Kane under surveillance for 3 years, found nothing prosecutable. He's meticulous. So why tell me? Because Saturday was the first time he's been public. Your officer forced him out. And here's the thing, Kane might be criminal, but that doesn't excuse profiling. Constitutional rights apply to everyone. Even criminals? Especially criminals. If they don't have rights, none of us do. Community response divides. Civil rights groups rally. Marcus Kane was profiled. That's wrong regardless. Others say, he's a criminal. Why defend him? Local pastor Marcus Thomas bridges the gap in his sermon. Marcus Kane is part of a criminal organization. We cannot celebrate that. But he was also a black father driving children home, stopped for no reason but skin color. Both truths exist. We can condemn his criminal life while defending his constitutional rights. If we only defend perfect people's rights, we defend no one. What Officer Brennan did was wrong. Marcus's past doesn't change that. Wednesday, Chen interviews Marcus with his attorney present. Mr. Kane, are you affiliated with the Black Disciples? Attorney, Fifth Amendment. Chen nods. Let's talk Saturday. Did you feel profiled? Yes, immediately. Brennan's tone, assumptions, I've lived this my whole life. I know when I'm seen as a threat simply for existing. The 300 men came peacefully, legally, no laws broken. Some call that intimidation. 6 officers for 1 man with 3 kids is intimidation. I brought the community. They brought guns. Thursday, Ghost gives a media statement. Marcus Kane is respected in our community. Saturday shows what happens to black men daily. Profiled, assumed guilty, humiliated. 300 people came because he's loved. He's helped, employed, mentored many. We stand with our brother. Social media explodes. #justice. For Marcus trends. Narrative shifts to profiling, not crime. 3 weeks later, internal affairs findings, Officer Brennan violated. Stop without probable cause, racial profiling, search without warrant, excessive force, false report statements. Pattern, 18 months of discriminatory stops. Recommended, termination, police union fights. Officer didn't know about organized crime affiliation. Chen counters. He didn't know because he assumed based on race alone. Kane's background is irrelevant to the stop. Constitutional rights apply to everyone or they apply to no one. Battle becomes, does being a criminal negate constitutional protections? Chen's report. If rights only apply to law-abiding citizens, the government decides who gets rights. That's tyranny. Marcus Kane's suspected activities don't negate Fourth Amendment protections. Brennan must face consequences. The report goes to the police commission. Meanwhile, Marcus tries salvaging relationships with his kids. DeAndre accepts, Dad's job is complicated. Amara just wants Dad to be Dad. Jayla struggles, anger, sadness, defending him, condemning him. One night, Dad, would you do it differently? Marcus thinks. If I could go back to 16? Yes, but I can't. I can only move forward. I'm trying. Is that enough? I don't know, but it's all I have. She nods. Don't hug him, but doesn't leave. Small progress. 4 weeks later, the police commission schedules a public hearing to decide Brennan's fate and announce reforms. Marcus was invited to testify. So are his children. He refuses initially, doesn't want them in the spotlight. But Jayla wants to speak. They prepare together. Teresa says, "Whatever happens, we face it together." Marcus looks at his wife, his children. Together. Outside, the black SUV remains. Ghost's protection. Because Marcus is exposed now. Rivals watching, enemies watching, feds watching. But also support. Criminal family and actual neighbors rally. Complicated but real. The hearing is in 2 days. 2. Everything will change again. 4 weeks later. City Hall, Police Commission hearing. The room is packed. 300 seats filled, another 100 standing in back. News cameras line the walls. This isn't just about one traffic stop anymore. It's about everything. Marcus sits in the front row with Teresa, Jayla, DeAndre, and Amara. Behind them, Ghost and 50 members of the Black Disciples in suits. Across the aisle, Brennan sits with his union attorney, looking smaller than he did that night. Commissioner Patricia Chen, no relation to Detective Chen, calls the hearing to order. "We're here to determine the employment status of Officer Michael Brennan and to announce department-wide reforms. We'll hear testimony, then render a decision." She calls the first witness. Detective Lisa Chen presents her findings. The stop history, the pattern, the video evidence. It takes 20 minutes. Every piece of data is damning. Officer Brennan stopped Marcus Kane based solely on race. The evidence is conclusive. Next, FBI agent Martinez testifies. "Mr. Kane has never been charged with any crime. Suspicions are not facts. His constitutional rights were violated." Then Chief Wallace. "This department failed. We allowed a pattern of discrimination to continue unchecked. That ends today." Commissioner Chen asks, "Does Mr. Kane wish to testify?" Marcus stands, walks to the microphone. The room goes silent. "I'm not going to stand here and claim I'm innocent. I'm not. I've made choices I'm not proud of. I work in a world that exists in the shadows. But that night, I was just a father, taking my kids home, and I was treated like an animal because of my skin." Officer Brennan didn't see underboss, he saw black man, and decided that was enough. His voice catches slightly. "I don't want him fired. I want him to understand. To really understand that the man he humiliated is somebody's father, somebody's husband, somebody's son. I want him to know that when he stops the next black man, he might be stopping a future doctor, future teacher. Or yes, someone like me, complicated, flawed, but human. And I want my children." He looks back at Jayla. "I want my children to see that even when systems fail us, we can demand they do better." He sits. The room is silent for 3 full seconds. "Does Jayla Kane wish to speak?" Jayla stands, walks to the microphone. She's 13 years old and terrified, but she's her father's daughter. She reads from a paper, hands shaking. "My name is Jayla Kane. I'm 13. That night, I filmed everything because I was scared they'd hurt my dad. I heard that officer say people like you. I knew what he meant. He meant people like me, like my family, like everyone who looks like us. My dad isn't perfect, but he's my dad. And he didn't deserve that." Her voice breaks. "Nobody deserves that." She walks back to her seat. Teresa puts an arm around her. Half the room is crying. Commissioner Chen calls Brennan. "Officer Brennan, do you wish to make a statement?" Brennan stands, walks to the microphone, faces Marcus. "Mr. Kane, I was wrong. I saw your skin and made assumptions. Saw your car and made judgments. Saw your cash and decided you were a criminal. I didn't see your children's faces. Didn't see you as human. Saw you as a category. Losing this job, I deserve it. But what I can't get back is what I took from your kids. Their sense of safety. Their faith that the police protect them. I'm sorry. Marcus nods. Not forgiveness. Acknowledgement. The commission deliberates for 30 minutes. When they return, Commissioner Chen reads the decision. Officer Michael Brennan is hereby terminated effective immediately. Violations include racial profiling, unlawful search, excessive force, and false reporting. The termination is permanent. Officer Brennan is ineligible for rehire in any law enforcement capacity in this state. Brennan's head drops. His union attorney makes notes. They'll appeal, but it won't matter. The evidence is overwhelming. Additionally, this department will implement the following reforms effective immediately. 1. Mandatory bias training, 60 hours annually for all officers. 2. Community Oversight Board with subpoena power. 3. Body camera footage reviewed monthly for patterns. 4. Quarterly public reporting of all traffic stops by race and outcome. 5. Early intervention system. Any officer showing bias patterns will be immediately suspended and retrained. 6. Partnership programs with community organizations to rebuild trust. 7. $3.5 million budget allocation for implementation. Chief Wallace adds, "We failed Mr. Kane. We failed many in our community. No more." The hearing ends. News cameras rush Marcus. He waves them off. Just wants to take his kids home. Outside, Ghost approaches. "You did good, Em." Did I? My kids saw everything. They saw their father stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. That's something. 6 months later, the data shows changes. Traffic stops of black motorists are down 52%. Complaints down 61%. Community trust up from 28 to 39%. Not perfect. Still work to do. But real progress. Brennan appeals his termination. It's denied. He works security at a mall now. Goes to therapy. Genuinely trying to understand his biases. Some people don't get redemption, just consequences. That's okay too. 1 year later. Marcus Kane is still underboss. You don't just walk away from that life. But he's transitioning. The warehouse he bought? It's a legitimate distribution center now. Legal goods, 40 employees, half with criminal records, giving second chances. He owns 2 more businesses, a construction company, a restaurant. All legitimate. All building an exit path. It'll take years, maybe a decade. Maybe he'll never fully escape. But he's trying. His children are different now. Jayla, 14, started a youth rights organization. She teaches kids how to film police encounters, know their rights, stay safe. She knows what her father is, struggles with it, loves him anyway. Their relationship is complicated, honest, real. DeAndre, 10, asks hard questions. "Dad, do you hurt people?" Marcus answers honestly. "Sometimes my world requires hard choices I'm not proud of." DeAndre thinks about that. Hasn't decided what it means yet. Amara, 7, just wants Dad to be Dad. She knows Dad's friends protect us. She feels safe. That's enough for now. Teresa still works night shifts. Still loves Marcus. Still wishes he could walk away faster. "I knew who you were when I married you," she says. "I chose you anyway. Under everything else, you're a good father. That part is real." The Oakmont Hills community changed too. Some families moved, afraid of criminal element. Others stayed, embraced the Kane family. Mrs. Dorothy Williams still defends Marcus at neighborhood meetings. He's still the same man. Only difference is now everyone knows what some of us knew. He takes care of his people. The police department shows measurable progress. Traffic stop disparities down 54%. Use of force incidents down 47%. Community trust up to 42%. Not perfect. Still work to do. But real documented change. Officer Rodriguez, who was there that night and tried to intervene, now teaches bias training. Uses that night as a case study. This is what happens when we see categories instead of humans. Some officers quit rather than do the training. Others embrace it. Change is messy, but it's happening. The story made national news. 12 other cities adopted similar reforms. The Reeves-Morrison Act, named after Marcus and Sergeant Morrison, passed in the state legislature, requires all departments to track and publicly report stop data by race. 37 states now considering similar laws. But this story doesn't have a clean ending. Marcus is still part of a criminal organization. The system still has bias. Perfect justice doesn't exist. What exists is this. A black man, complicated and flawed, refused to accept being treated as less than human. 300 men stood with him. A system, imperfect and slow, chose accountability over protecting its own. A family, broken and healing, chose honesty over comfortable lies. Marcus says it best. People ask if I regret calling them, exposing myself to my kids every day. But I regret more what would have happened if I didn't. If my children watched their father taken away, powerless. I may be a lot of things, but that night, I was a father who protected his children. I used the only power I had. Was it right? I don't know. But it was all I had. Now you've heard this story. And maybe you're uncomfortable. Good, you should be. Because this story doesn't have heroes and villains, just humans. Complicated, flawed humans. Ask yourself, have you judged someone by appearance? Assumed someone's story before knowing it? Made someone prove their humanity? What would you do if you were Marcus? If you were Brennan? If you were Jayla, watching everything change? Share your thoughts in the comments. Not to judge, but to understand. If this story made you think, made you question, made you uncomfortable, that's the point. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories that challenge us to see the complexity in everything. Because the world isn't black and white. It's complicated, just like Marcus Kane.
The story you heard today wasn't cleaned up. It was told exactly as it happened. At Black Voices Uncut, we believe that's the only way truth can live. If you felt something, hit like, comment, and your reaction, and subscribe. Every week, we bring you voices that refuse to be silenced.